Welcome to Coffee with Alain. I hope you've had a fantastic week. And as we go into the weekend, I hope things are going well for you. I am here with my tiger shirt on and coordinated with a tiger mug. I've had this mug a long time. This tiger mug is from the Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo. I was there way back, would have been 94, right before I went to Japan, visiting a buddy of mine from the 82nd Airborne, Rhett Kurkowski. He was living in Omaha at the time. Stopped in and visited him for a couple days when we went to the zoo. So had that mug for quite a while. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about these scumbag scammers that are just relentless. Now, it reminded me of tigers and reminded me of scams. Reading an article early this morning, came through email from a speaker, and he tied the story to a different lesson. But the story he told was a number of years ago when he got taken in Thailand. He went to a temple. The guy said, "Oh, the temple's closed. I'll take you on a tour." A little tuk-tuk. Went on a little tour, stopped at the tailor, get high pressure sales at the tailor, and he bought the suit. And that's a very common scam. I remember that, when I've been in Thailand. It was either tailors with the suits or the jewelry. One of the two. You got hit up with both of them all the time. I mean, you'd go to a tourist attraction, a temple or something where there's a number of tourists, and you'd get hit by a number of these scammers. I mean, you just get rid of one and someone else would come up. They're relentless. And there were times where I would take a tuk-tuk driver and he'd want to stop at a jewelry store or a tailor because they were buddies and friends and they would give me the best deal. Even if I didn't want to keep the jewelry, I could take it back to America and sell it and get more than my entire trip to Thailand. Blah, blah, blah. And every once in a while, if there's a really nice tuk-tuk driver and he was taking me and, and I liked him and he was taking me places I wanted to go, I'd say, yeah, go ahead and stop at the jewelry store, stop at the tailor. But I only got 15 minutes because I have to be so-and-so because I'm going to meet some friends. I was traveling alone. I didn't have any friends, but I wanted to put a time limit on how long I would stay at the tailor shop or the jewelry shop. And he would take me there and he gets kickbacks and gas credits and stuff to help him. And since he was a nice guy, I didn't mind stopping and spending 15 minutes to help him get some money. And I could, listen to these high pressure salespeople for 15 minutes and then say no, because I knew what the deal was going on. And I'm not going to let a high pressure salesperson make me spend my money right now. And this is the thing about scammers. Relentless as they are, all of them have high pressure and they want you to spend the money without thinking. Give the money without thinking. Now, in those situations, it was to buy a suit, a fantastic suit, which turned out to be junk, like the guy who wrote this morning. Or it was these jewels, jewelry that you could take back and sell for and make more than your trip. And no way you're going to do that. You're going to take them back and find out it's junk. Nowadays, we see the same kind of stuff. Now, they might not be trying to sell you something, but a very common scam going on right now. And there are people in Missoula, Montana, that have just recently had this scam happen to them. I was reading about it just a couple days ago on the Nextdoor, the local app. So it's happening in Missoula. It's happening all over the country. But these scammers are using AI voice generators. And what they'll do is you'll get a phone call and they will get the voice to match someone a relative, a close friend, and that person will be in distress. Again, we got to get that money fast with no thinking. So they're in distress and they need money right now. The person that posted on Nextdoor, that call was they were arrested and they needed bail money right now. However, they wanted the bail money through gift cards. So, that's a huge thing right there. If they're wanting gift cards, cryptocurrency, pay by some cash app or Western Union, wire them the money. Those are the classic ways that frauds and scammers want you to pay. And it's tough to get your money back after those kind of transactions. So before you ever get worried, because they sound good, and they know some information about you. It might be a grandkid's voice. Maybe you have grandkids that are teenage and they're calling, Grandpa, Grandma, I'm in trouble. I need money and I don't want mom and dad to find out. Can you help me? And loving grandparents going to help their grandkids, and it sounds exactly like them, and they hate having their grandkids in distress, so they're going to help. And it's all bullshit. It's a scam. Now, a couple things you can do. You can have a code word or phrase that under any kind of emergency you will give each other. That's one way. You could ask the person some questions that only they would know and catch them that they can't answer certain questions, because the scammers, they'll know certain things. They'll do some research and they know some stuff about you. And unfortunately, we have so much out on social media now, it's easy to collect that. And I'm not telling you not to use social media. I'm as guilty as everybody. And I probably put more out on social media than I should, because I'm trying to build that to help more and more people. But recognize that the scammers can get that information and try to use it against your loved ones, putting up some kind of scam. So you can look, have a code word or code phrase. You can ask questions. Biggest thing is stop and think and don't make rash decisions. And especially when they get into the payment methods, that's completely bullshit. You're arrested, you need bail money, so you want gift cards, or you want a wire transfer to this weird place. A lot of times it's going to be out of the country if you don't check the numbers and codes of stuff going on. So we just got to be extremely vigilant, because these scammers are relentless and they just keep coming after people. And they keep coming after people that are maybe less tech savvy, a little more vulnerable. Again, grandparents wanting to help grandkids, that's a common type of thing. Parents wanting to help their kids, a common. Or a sister or a brother or a spouse. I mean, they want to get a loved one in distress, and they'll make it sound like it's so urgent and immediate, and the only thing that can save that person is you sending money now, immediately, and there's no time to wait. Got to get it now. And they want you to do it as quick as possible before you think about it. So whenever there's any kind of request for any kind of money or payment or anything like that, you have to stop, think, test, validate before you do anything. You have to be vigilant on that. You have to let others know about this. And we have to stop these scumbag scammers from taking literally millions of dollars from people every year. I haven't checked the recent stats, but it's incredible how much money they scam from people. And so we need to prevent that. We got to stay vigilant against it. I want to say hello to a couple people before we leave today. Thad is here, said good morning. Thank you, Thad, for being on. Hope you're doing well and enjoying things. Friday. Dixon's here. Dixon said, I always liked the little kid named Sambo, who was tricked to give away his nice things by several tigers, and he got his revenge, turning them into butter, which he used on a giant stack of pancakes his mother made. I don't remember that story, Dixon. I'll have to check that one, but that's good. But yes, we have to stay vigilant. And I guess if we could turn people into a giant stick of butter, that would be nice, to make all those scammers turn into butter and let them melt away in this heat. And the last thing I'll say before I sign off, again, if you are in one of these areas affected by the heat wave, stay hydrated, stay cool, keep safe. Check on people that could be a little bit more vulnerable to heat, and make sure that they're staying safe too. Heat hospitalizes and kills people every year. So take precautions, because there's heat waves all over. And if you're down in the flooding, I know, Dixon, you and I chatted about this. I saw another person died in Uvalde from the floods. If you're in the areas affected by those, stay safe and be smart about it. A lot of people don't recognize how fast floods can happen, how dangerous they can be. So if you're in an area with flood warnings and things, take the precautions and be smart. Everybody, make it a fabulous Friday. I'll be back to see you tomorrow.